Did I freeze up again?
No, it's just I'm
Oh,
like I said. There's that one time like all of a sudden you like froze. I was like, wait a minute. Oh,
I thought it froze again too, but we are live now. There's if I do freeze, it's because there's a severe thunderstorm warning. So hopefully it'll be all right. It won't be one of those nights where it kicks me off again, like that weird night.
oh.
Remember? It's
Yeah.
like
Hopefully, nothing serious.
yeah, just a minute of yeah. No, that was me. But yeah. So how was your week?
Oh, what a week it's been. The news about my mom's dog. So,
Oh, that's right. So how that turned out?
well, they were supposed to contact her. Well, actually, it would be me, and they never reached out. So I think we're just gonna. We're not gonna do anything. We probably can't afford it. So if she gets in pain, then we'll put her down. It might sound cruel, but
better than suffering. So
I mean, just to go in for the shots in the past, because I'm the one that pays. It's like normally about a little over 100 this time, almost 230.
Yikes. Let's see. So looks like David's here. Bring him on up.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
I made it.
Yes, you're here.
I made it.
Yay!
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you for coming.
Pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, thank you. So who are we here with? Is that Ralph? Is that you? No, that's not Ralph. Is it?
That's not Ralph. You have a twin named Ralph.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Well, hey,
No, he looks like one of my co-stars.
They say in the world everybody has an identical twin.
That's true.
Yes.
Just hope it's a good twin, not the evil twin that's gonna have the cops knocking at your door.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, how are you?
What was it, friends? Everybody has an identical hand twin. It's my identical hand twin. That too.
Yeah, cops come knock on the door. We want to talk about those 27 people you killed. What?
27, huh? Oh, wow.
It's like, no.
It's not 27, it's 29. That's my brother. Oh,
oh.
I just got
busted.
No, that came out wrong. But anyway, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So, how's your week been before we get into it?
Oh, it's been great. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun, like busy and stuff. And then just, yeah, but I'm here. I made it.
Keep it busy. So, tell us a little about yourself. Where did you grow up, and what got you into acting? Who was your inspiration?
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't bring a bottle of red with me, but I got a Pepsi. So hold on a second.
The power of the Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was born and raised in Chicago. And I grew up in Oak Park, went to Oak Park River Forest High School, the same, same as Homer Simpson. So yay. But of course he graduated years before I was even born. So not yay, but but yeah, I've been acting and performing like off and on since I was about like 8 years old. I was in a school play where I was cast as Dr. Martin Luther King, believe it or not.
Ooh,
Yeah. Had to learn his speech and everything. That's when I got my first like really like crash course into acting and like trying to break away from like, being a painfully shy kid and stuff. And I had to stand before like not just like the entire school, but like, an invited group of parents and like some Congress people were there, I think, as well. And give one of his speeches again. And like, we did the whole play and stuff. It was a lot of fun. And so that was my first taste of the acting bug. And
that actually sounds like a lot of pressure too.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, especially like, but it was pressure to be the star. So, I mean, I guess good pressure. So not too bad. Yeah. And other than that, I didn't really like perform as consistently going along, but like like my professional career really started when I was in Columbia. And sophomore year, I started being in other students' films and stuff because I was a film major as well. And it was like, hey, you want to be in my film? I'm like, sure, okay. Yeah. And so
let's do this. Yeah.
And then I got a reputation. And so I ended up developing a reputation for like, being this, cool, easy to work with actor and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, he can do that. Yeah, he can be in it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So what you got? And then it just went from there. I've been, let's see. So I guess what got me into acting was just, really feeling like I could, I don't know, just like get into it and have fun and, break out of my shell and, and just, enjoy and create as well. Create and leave an impact, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So since you said you took filmmaking, any directors or anyone inspired you, or any movies that you would, like to film?
Oh man, Wes Craven.
Of course.
Yeah, the late Wes Craven. Yeah. I was like, when I was a kid, I was always into horror, and like every time I saw his name on something, I'm like, okay, this movie's gonna be scary as fuck. So I'm like, let's watch it,
Do you have a particular favorite Wes Craven movie?
Aside from Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream, People Under the Stairs and Serpent and the Rainbow. And Shocker's another fun, honorable mention as well. I like that too. That was scary too, because I like watching TV a lot. So I was like, I don't want to, like, if the TV starts acting funny, I'm out of here. But People Under the Stairs was a good one too, because that was one of the other ones where it's like, okay, the thing you should be scared of, you're not scared of. So it's like, it's one of those, like, look over there, but then it's like it comes at you from the other way. And I'm like, oh wow. So and then also it was good to see somebody that looked like me being the star of the movie, basically. I was like, yeah. Brandon Adams is still one of my favorite actors because of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was also, I believe he was in Mighty Ducks also. He was
that was him, yeah.
What's funny is he was at Spooky Empire one year, and I met him, and we were talking, and I go, so honestly, you still get quacked out? Because I was just curious. He's like, oh, all the time. He's like, I love it though. It's fine. So he was cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to be known by something. So see,
you just don't want to be like that one lady from Jaws, the mother who slaps the Brody or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For years, people were walking up to her. Can you slap me?
Like, wow, Quentin for punishment much?
It's like at first she complied, like, okay, smack, and after a while it was like, no.
Well, Kane Hodder will choke you, so I guess whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard that a lot, but it's like he didn't choke me when I met him, so I'm like, aw, kind of, I don't feel special no more. No, I'm kidding.
You weren't special enough to get choked. No, but he was like, I'll just pretend, and for like about 3 seconds, he'll literally squeeze your neck, and then he'll like, yeah, it's like, damn, okay, let's just pose for the photo. I don't want to, die today.
Like, come on, man, I don't like it that rough. So.
What's the safe word, Jason? No, wait, that's not a safe word. Machete.
Yeah. But yeah, Kane Hodder, that was another, cool one, to meet and stuff. And I was like, wow, because that was like one of the, like, when I saw Jason Takes Manhattan, I was like, oh wow. And I'm like, look at the way he plays Jason, because I've seen all the other ones, and I was like, okay, yeah, they're pretty cool. But I'm like, wow, this guy brought something different, and I didn't know what he looked like until I saw Wishmaster years later, of course. I mean, I know I saw Jason Goes to Hell, but I didn't know that was him.
Right.
Yeah, he added all these simple little things. He added to the character. The head turn, getting mad and breathing. One of my favorite scenes from him is in part 7. Someone's screaming, and all of a sudden you can see him like peek around the tree, like what's going on? I always thought that was comical, just randomly like peeking around the tree, like what's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm glad they used him for the video game for the motion capture.
Yeah, that's like righting a wrong in the universe, like bringing Kane Hodder back as Jason. That's like that's what we do around here, you
realize, okay, he stuck double for Leatherface. He played Jason technically played Freddy in Jason Goes to Hell, because that was him.
Yeah.
That leaves Michael. That's the only one that's left.
Yeah. That would be next. They should do another another Recon Rico or something like that, and have Kane Hodder play Michael Myers. That would be,
I don't know if he could play Leatherface. I'm not Leatherface, but Ghostface. He might be a bit too big.
Yeah, that would be a big Ghostface. Gee, I wonder who the killer is of the group. Ghostface seems to be
He had a growth spurt.
Yeah, I know, right? And then, of course, when they reveal it, it's a girl who's 5'2" or something like that, and weighs 98 pounds.
Let's see who it is. Yeah,
they did a horror movie based on Ed Gaines, that killer back from the 50s. Who, if you look at him, he's a little old man, and they casted Kane to play him.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one too. I was like, I mean, I love Kane, but he just wasn't right for that. But I saw another movie about Ed Gein where they actually cast more close to him, you know. And I was like, okay, now that's a better one. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So
I like when Kane played BTK. So yeah.
Yeah, BTK was a good one. He was good in that. Go ahead, Echo.
Yeah.
What was your first film you did?
My first film?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know the name of it because you know what happened? It was a student film, so it was and then I think he told me some of the footage got messed up or something like that. So it was supposed to be one thing, but then whatever footage he had, he just, turned it into something wild and, kind of acid trippy or some shit like that. And I was like, I forgot the name of it. And so I was like, yeah. But my first feature film was Periods of Rain. I had a couple of lines in it. And so a guy at my former church and stuff, he was also into the film industry as well. He still is, but at that time, he was making his first feature film. And then I remember I showed up and auditioned and everything. And then I wasn't right for any of the parts that I auditioned for, but he told me later that he wrote a part for me just because. And so I was like, oh, thank you. And he's like, yeah, you're playing the mean film student or the drama student or something like that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing mean. Okay, cool. So, and then so that was fun to do. And, we filmed it at this little 99-seater way up north somewhere, and so it was nice. And then I was just being my usual mean self. No, seriously, I am
such an ass, man. What are you? You're horrible.
Yeah.
It's all the villains or evil people or mean people. They're the nicest people in real life. It's just a way to get your frustration out or whatever, and still not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, remember, it's the sweet ones you got to be worried about. Those are the ones that got the the really all evil.
Yeah.
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 It's you're a little too nice. What you got going on there?
Is that a knife behind your back?
A what?
Is that a
no,
knife
he was just saying
knife. You're talking to a nice person. Is that a knife behind your back? Oh no, it's not.
Oh, I was about to say. I'm I thought you were talking about for real. I was like, oh man. I'm no, I hope not. I thought I got rid of all the weapons. No.
Got rid of the evidence. I'm not supposed to be on camera.
Yeah.
So you were in Scream Legacy. How did you get involved with that?
Well, somebody had actually I was on another slasher movie where one of my co-stars, she mentioned it, and so I contacted the director, and of course, I asked him hey, if you got a part for me, I would love to audition or be in it or something like that. And then, but what I didn't know is that she also had talked to him and mentioned me, and so that's when we started talking. He said, oh, so-and-so mentioned you, and, she says a lot of great things about you. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, thanks. And then, one thing led to another, and he's like, well, yeah, but the only role I got is, this one. And so, the janitor in the beginning. And I was like, okay, cool. I can be a janitor. I can clean stuff. Yeah, clean up all the blood and stuff, and not knowing that,
You're making the mess. You're making the mess.
But you know what happened?
It up.
I think, yeah, in your, I think it was like one of the earlier drafts I read where because I didn't get a whole entire script, but and I think they were still making changes to it at the time. So it was like the main character is supposed to ask me something, and I'm like, oh no, that I don't know what you're talking about, and then that was it. And then like he supposedly hears a noise off in the background, and then it goes to the next scene, and then later on it was like, oh, like a hand's gonna reach in and grab you out of the screen or something, or out of the frame. I was like, okay, cool. And then when I got to set, I flew all the way from Los Angeles on a connecting flight to Houston, and then I only had time to really like get checked into the Hilton and just set my stuff down, and then get into an Uber onto the set,
Mm-hmm.
and then and I was like, oh yeah, and then I saw like the whole costume there and everything. I was like, oh wow, it's about to be lit, and then I met the stunt performer who was playing Ghostface, and then he originally wasn't gonna wear the mask. He was just gonna put on the robe, the gloves and everything, and just come in and get me and stuff. And I was like, oh, you know what? Could you put on the mask too, just to like add the whole effect to it, and it would make my cameo like that much more special, right? And so, and he obliged. He was a really cool guy and stuff. And we just pretty much just chilled that whole night and stuff too. And it was like we shot a lot of stuff, and then after that they were focusing on the other character and everything, and so his what was happening with him as well, and so that was a lot of fun to do. And I was like yeah, I got to work with Ghostface, all right. And then of course I'm like, and then I get a lot of I mean, not recently, but like a lot, like since the movie was released, and so people were like, oh man, you had to kill the black dude first. And I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, and it
I was
dawned
kind
on
of
me
thinking
too,
that,
and I
like,
was
that's
like,
kind of stereotypical, like even in Scary Movie, or like they
Yeah.
make fun of that. And stuff.
yeah,
Have you ever seen the movie Canadian Bacon?
Oh, I haven't seen that one. No.
Yeah, there is a line about that where they're sitting around and they're talking about people dying, and they go, the black guy always dies first. And the guy gets real quiet, like he's just like looking at him like, screw you guys.
Like, how dare you?
What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
because I was just like,
What are your thoughts on fan films like this Scream one? What are your thoughts on them? The fans that do these fan films.
I like them. They're a lot of fun to do, and I like that it comes from the heart as well. Because I mean, it's like with movies like Scream and the Friday the 13th ones and the Halloween one that the same studio did that went really viral and stuff. It was it's really good. A lot of them, especially if they're done right, they're basically they're really good, and they're almost like canon to the actual series. So it's like, yeah, because and that's another thing too. It comes from the heart. It's a love letter to the series. So that's what I pretty much like about it. And and that's what I liked about doing the Scream movie as well, because that one was just, they really put a lot into it. And it was a love letter to the Scream franchise and to Wes Craven as well, because he had been gone for a while since we had started filming. And so and so it was just fun to do, and very a lot of memorable times, even though I only worked like that one day. But that was a great weekend in in Houston. I just spent the rest of my time there just chilling near the in the hotel and stuff, and just just saying like, wow, I actually made it, because I almost thought I wasn't gonna. There was like an issue with my flight and everything, and I thought I wasn't gonna make it, and I was like, oh man, I'm like. But there is a God, and He wanted me to do horror movies. So, lo and behold, I made it. Of course, it was a connecting flight, which I don't normally do, but
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that connecting flights aren't all that bad, especially when they leave a lot of time between the flights. So that was always good.
Yeah. So, just to let everybody know that Scream Legacy is on YouTube still, so you can check it out. I think when I saw it, it was like over 3-point-something million views or something, so it's got a lot of...
Scream's definitely got a huge following. I got to give it that.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan, because I had a friend who would drag me to the movies just so he can make out with his girlfriend during the whole time, and then ask me what happened in the movie. So I was like, I hold a grudge against him because of that. Like, you dragged me to this, and then so you can make out with your girlfriend.
Like, yeah, I know. It's like you going to a scary movie just to make out with somebody. What is wrong with you, man?
and you drag your best friend with you, and then you have to ask him about the movie afterwards.
So he ignored the movie to make her scream.
Probably. He stopped doing that because I think he was realizing that sooner or later I was probably going to reenact Scream on him.
Yeah, just like, that would be a really cool opening too, like with what's the name, Kristen Johnson and Anna Paquin, just like, take the knife and just buried into him and stuff. And he's like, why? Because you're always dragging me to these movies just to make out with your girlfriend. Like, oh, by the way, don't go nowhere yet. And then stab her too or some shit.
Hey, they did
do a theater. And watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, they did do a theater in one of the Scream movies. The first one, was it?
It was part 2. Yeah.
Jason. Yeah, that was funny. It's it's a
when
dumbass.
Jada Pinkett got into an entanglement with Ghostface.
Yep. Everybody thought it was part of the scene until she fell down. It's like it's happening again. No, it's not. A lot of shit happens at movie theaters. Stab, babe. And Radio's like, no,
yeah, multiplex is just a dangerous thing.
It has nothing to do with us. No. Man, I wish they would have kept him on for the third movie. I couldn't believe they killed him in the second one.
Yeah, that was like, oh man. Yeah, when Randy dies, man, that was just.
It's tragic. They get you invested in the character, and then he dies, and you're just left like, God damn it. They won't give you the Jaws revenge treatment where they would kill him off and they go, oh wait a minute, people like him, we got to bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the Halloween one where they just retcon the series and then like, oh look, Randy's here.
How many what franchise has been more retcon than Texas Chainsaw Massacre might have been retcon more than Halloween. Because there's so many.
I know they tried to do that with the recent one. Yeah, they tried to do that with the recent one that came out on Netflix. I think that one is retcon. I think they ignore all the other. They ignore all the other sequels, and then they bring back the Well, she's not the original Legacy character, but it's not like It's not like with Halloween where you actually had Jamie Lee Curtis and what's the guy's name, that Castle guy or something like that. Yeah, because like this one, I think. Yeah, and then like, but by the time they did the new Texas Chainsaw, that one, like I think all the original ones died or something. Like I know Gunnar Hansen's been gone a while, and that like what's her name, Sally Harding chick? Yeah, she
she passed.
I didn't know she died until like last year or something like that. They had another actress player. I'm like, oh, they couldn't get what's her name, and I was like, oh yeah, she died. Oh man.
The original grandfather, who was like probably 20 some odd years old when it had him in the original movie. He came back for Texas Chainsaw 3D because he has a because they had Gunnar Hansen, the original Sally, and him in it from the original movie.
Yep.
And all, and so it's like, what was I saying? If you look at Gunnar, when you see Gunnar in that movie, he's doing like the Leatherface pose. So that scene where Leatherface is sitting down, and then you see him sticking his tongue out like he's looking at his mask. Gunnar Hansen's doing the same thing in the movie, but no mask.
Wow!
And he plays the head of the family. It's just like perfect to have him play the head.
Was it Gunnar Hansen? I don't know if you saw that movie Mosquito with the giant mosquitoes.
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
Oh, that's a good one if you get a chance. Like I guess it was like a meteor or something, or so they started growing and they had the giant proboscis. Well, Gunnar Hansen, it was kind of funny. One part he actually has a chainsaw and he's killing the mosquito. I'm like, oh, here comes Leatherface.
Yeah, I think he says a line about something about this feels so familiar
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a wink to all the TCM fans, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what genre or what subgenre of horror do you like acting most? Whether it's a slasher or supernatural or a little combination of both, or zombies?
Yeah,
or
I'll say a combination of. Yeah, all the zombies. That was a fun ride. Yeah. Yeah, but I like I don't know. I pretty much just like all of them. I want to like at least experience all of them as well, just to see like which ones I do like the most. I've mostly done slashers and supernaturals like creature features as well.
Mhm.
And so those are always a lot of fun. I like those. I like the, how do you say, like, I just like the fun of it, and slasher films. Yeah, they, they're fun too, but a lot of times, like, if I've done so many, I just want to, give that a rest for a while and like, okay, cool. What else you got as far as, like you got aliens or something, or, or
shark
cryptids
movies.
even.
Yeah, shark movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was another fun one. It was like, yeah, doing Amityville Shark House. That one was like, it was a lot different than what I expected, but I was like, oh, cool. So I can't wait for everybody to see that when it comes out.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. It looks pretty interesting. Yeah.
At this point, there are so many Amityville movies. I think just about everybody's done one.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for them to run out of. I'm waiting for them to start really running out of ideas, because I've said this before, every time you think they've run out of ideas at the bottom of that barrel, nope.
You just throw the word Amityville to anything, and it'll be a movie. It doesn't matter what it is. So yeah, you were in. Sorry to say Amityville Turkey Day. That's the one coming out, but Amityville Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to check that one out yet, but
you haven't seen it yet?
No, not yet. So
okay, yeah. It was a interesting one. Yeah, that one was like, I was actually just finishing up Amityville Bigfoot, and then with Sean C. Phillips, and also we were what was it? Oh, we had to film an extra scene for Shark House. So like I had to, get into that character as well. And so, and then, I know he was talking, him and Will were talking on the phone and stuff like that. And he mentioned something about filming his cameo for Amityville Thanksgiving. And then like it was supposed to be him and and Lauren Francesca. She was, they were supposed to be playing a couple in it. And so like, I guess when she for some reason couldn't do it, but and that's when like I kind of stepped in, but I didn't know what it was for. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being in it if you got something for me. And he's like, sure, we can play a couple at therapy. And I said, a what at what? I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do it. So that was interesting. And that's when like, so now if they make any kind of like, like I don't know if you read the trivia on IMDb or something like that, like the quotes and everything, and it's like that's where like if you hear about any ass references, that's kind of where it came from. But yeah, no asses were shown in this movie, so just so as a oh god, but what?
I'm looking it up. I
had fun with it though.
Trivia. Let me bring it up here. Related news, contribute to this page.
Yeah, I like reading some of that trivia sometime in IMDb. You see the different stuff, and you're like, I didn't know that. I knew this, or different facts. It's always cool to read them, what you can learn about the movies. Like, what was it? I was like in Jaws: The Revenge. I'm talking about the shark roars in that movie, and the sound engineer goes, I ain't making no roar for no shark. They don't roar. So they went from a cartoon from the 1940s, Tom and Jerry. They got a roar from Tom and Jerry for that movie. It's like, I'm never looking at that movie the same.
Yeah, they actually made a shark roar in that one.
That's always fun. They did it before in the first movie, but they used the audio from some movie Stephen King, not Stephen King, but Spielberg did about a killer truck. But this time in Revenge,
Maximum Overdrive.
It's supposed to come out and roar, and the sound engineer's like, that's ridiculous. They don't roar. Sharks don't even have the vocal cords. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they don't.
It's like Tom and Jerry. Again, never gonna look at that movie the same. I'm gonna think about a little mouse and a cat chasing each other now.
And there's him, the shark. You're like, okay, that's odd, but yes. Let's see. Let's see who came in here. Facebook user. If you want to put your name on there, just allow Facebook to approve that. Let me see who that was here. I think I might know. Oh, okay. So Doug just came on.
Outside of horror, what kind of film would you like to do?
I like to do more comedies. Those are always fun. And maybe something more serious as well. Something dramatic where, I can really just like, let that part of me just, come through and like, yeah, that would be something, because I'm like, I'm ready to win an Academy Award now, one of these days, right? And then, but yeah, and I like to also do more action films as well, because I just see so many of those, and I'm just like, yeah, I could do that, I get the right kind of stunt guy and just,
get those action films of the 80s type deal.
I was gonna say, you want to do your own stunts? That'd be fun. Jump off some buildings.
Maybe, but not in the capacity of Tom Cruise. I mean, that guy is like, that guy's a special kind of, like, wow, because that was like,
and definitely
like doing all the like I saw the motorcycle stunt for the new Mission Impossible. I'm like, yeah, you do you, just be safe.
Yeah, just don't do a Jackie Chan where it requires you to, have to wear a fake shoe over your cast. He did that for one of his movies.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
It's just like, okay, let me put this on me to hide that it's broke.
It's like, remember Rumble in the Bronx? That was crazy.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that guy. He's a legend. Jackie Chan, yes, still is,
Still is. I think they're supposed to be doing another Rush Hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he might need a stunt double by now.
Who knows?
Yeah, he might.
He'll be like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this shit. Can't do it anymore.
He was supposed to get another one of those, too.
Now he's really too old for this shit. Doing another Lethal Weapon.
I think they said Mel Gibson's going to direct it because what's his name? Dono died.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Again, they were gearing up, and Richard Donner was supposed to direct it, and then he died, and they were saying, "Oh, Mel's taking over."
So let's see how crazy that'll be. Direct, I don't know.
Yeah, that one will be interesting too.
So who would you like to work with if you had the chance?
Ooh, let's see. Yep, another sip. So.
The power of the Pepsi.
Don't make me laugh. I don't want to spit it out or nothing.
Don't die on camera now.
But as far as, yeah, okay, I'll try. But as far as who I want to work with, oh wow, there's a lot of them. Like while they're still here, like Harrison Ford and what's his name, Al Pacino. Those are some, and then Denzel Washington and Angela Bassett too. I just love her. Yeah. And let's see.
And Denzel
I did want to work with Bruce Willis, but you say what?
Denzel has a movie coming out too.
Yeah, the new Equalizer.
Yeah, it's sad about it is sad about Bruce.
Yeah, I was like, but then I heard he was retiring, and I was like, oh well. And then as far as like the horror icons, let's see, Kane Hodder, Robert Englund, the legends, and Tony Todd. He's a really cool dude too. So I was like, definitely want to. I almost was in the movie with him, but I guess they went with someone else or whoever. Like I auditioned for it, and they're like, "Oh, cool, thanks." But they said, "Yeah, we're gonna go another direction." I was like, "Okay, cool." So maybe next time, right? And then let's see, who's the guy that does? Tobin Bell. That's another one.
Yeah.
As far as horror icons, and then I was in a movie with Bonnie Aarons, who plays the nun, but I didn't work with her directly. So I was like, I would love to do a movie with her, and we'd be in a scene together. Yeah. So that's always fun. Same thing with Felissa Rose too, because we were in a movie together, but then we weren't in any scenes and stuff. But it's good to be in the same, share the same like reel or something like that. The same.
Yeah, Felissa's awesome. Did you get a chance to meet her?
Yeah, I did meet her actually a couple of years ago. I saw her and I just walked up to her and I said hello, and she's just like the coolest. And I told her that Sleepaway Camp is one of my favorites, and it's like just like one of the most iconic horror movies, and it's to this day still very ahead of its time. And she was just very she was how do you say, just she loved it. She was very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to be in a couple of movies together, but I guess she was out for whatever reason. And then but who steps in is like Maritza Brickasack, who's like another like wonderful individual, and I just love her very much. And so that happened twice, that Felissa Rose was supposed to be in the role, but then she dropped out for whatever reason. But then here comes Maritza, so I like that. So when we were in Camp Pleasant Lake together, I just thought, that's just it's just a funny thing, but I love it though. Yeah.
What about filmmakers? What filmmakers would you like
to say
work with? What about
ahead,
filmmakers? What filmmakers would you like to work with?
I don't know. Like in particular, I'm not sure. I would have to say the Radio Silence team, because I just love their, I love their work. I'm just a huge fan of theirs, and they're also like, fans of Wes Craven, and they said they never got to meet him, but I'm like, oh yeah, same here, but but I just love their, their love of horror and stuff. So I was thinking, like, if I ever got onto a film with Radio Silence, that would be, I think I would feel right at home too, because it's like, like their love of horror and their perfect blend of comedy and stuff. I think it kind of matches what I do, and what I kind of like to do going forward. But yeah, so I mean, if that's like of course I like to work with all kinds of different filmmakers. Like I'm working with a first time filmmaker like early next year or something like that. I think that's when we're supposed to start production on that. Yeah, so that one's that one's exciting to do. And also, I like working with first time filmmakers as well, because I like to, get to know their, while they're finding their voice and everything. And, maybe if I can like kind of help them with that as well. And also just, if they're getting started and stuff, I like to also, help with that as well, because, I wish, I kind of had that around when I was starting out. Instead of just like, like how you say, like running around, like, okay, do I do this? Do I do that? Like, and then all of a sudden
being like a headless chicken running around.
Yeah, exactly. Just like where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Yeah.
It's like the head's supposed to be cut off in the movie, not prior.
Yeah, exactly.
So working with Will Colazo, he is also some of his cast members, what I was called the Polonia Pals, like Tim Hatch, Jamie Morgan, and there's probably a couple others, Mel Heflin. How was it? Were you like a fan of them prior to working, or how was it working with them? Especially Tim and Jamie.
Oh yeah, I was let's see, when we did Camp Blood, that is. Yeah. Like I didn't know about Jamie until like I started watching the Polonia movies like in the past year or so, and I was like, oh yeah. And then when I heard who she was and everything, and that she was going to be in it, I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm nervous, Like yeah, and then already working with Tim Hatch, I've done a movie with him like earlier that year, and so that was fun to do. Tim's a great guy, and then like we all had a great chemistry. We all like we start working together. So it was like, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun to do. And I'm, looking forward to definitely doing it again. And so, yeah, that was, yeah. You said what now?
If it's the rest of the Camp Bloods, did you watch any of the other Camp Bloods prior, or just got into your own role, just read the script and just worked on that?
I just read the script and everything. And so it was like, because I didn't see any of the previous movies. I heard about them, but I just, never got around to watching them. And so like when I was on my way to doing another movie in Indiana, and so that's when Will messaged me about being in in Camp Blood 666 Part 2, and so. Because then it turns out, David Sterling wanted me in the movie, and I was like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "I didn't think he remembered me," and I was like, "Oh," because I met him on the set of Amityville Bigfoot. He actually helped us get the location, and which turns out that was also a Camp Blood location as well, and Chauncey Phillips was in that one too. So it's a lot of fun. And so I was like, I didn't think he remembered me, but I was like, "Oh wow, he wants me to be in this," and then. Turns out it was like the lead character, and I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, it's that pressure again." But
yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
yeah. Oh no, I thought you were gonna say something. But yeah, it is funny though, and I was like, I'm like, wow, I didn't know I had such an impact on people like that. They would remember me to to be in their movies like that. But But then again, I do have a reputation for being cool to work with, so hey, it happens. But I was just excited about it, and then Will told me, he's like, "Oh, you're playing a priest in this one again," and because I played a priest a couple of times before, like in Bloody Nun and Alien Vampire Busters, but
which still isn't
yeah,
out
he
yet.
said,
Alien
not yet, but on his way. Yeah. But yeah, he said it's gonna be a sex scene in it, and I was like, a sex scene? I was like, you mean you want me to, get naked and be in a sex? I'm like,
and
what the hell? Sure, I'll do it. Yeah, I know. It's like, what kind of like sacrilegious naughtiness you got going on? Where do I sign up? No, I'm kidding. But
you play Father
yeah,
Evil.
It was like, yeah. But then when I got the script, I was like, it didn't sound as graphic as I thought it would. And it was like, and then the character that was having the, the wild butt naked sex, it seemed, it was like, that ain't me. So I'm like, oh, I ain't worried about it. I mean, sure, you want me to do the movie? Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I ain't gotta, and then, but then he had me like, the first script had me getting like possessed and like molesting one of my congregants. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, how far would they want me to go with that? So, yeah. But then that was only the first script that, it was like one of the earlier drafts. And then they said they were changing it around because it was like, they don't get to the campground to like almost the end of the movie. And, it's just not in the flow of a Camp Blood movie. So it was like, so the new one I got, it was like, okay, this one they're getting to the campground earlier, and it's it's a Camp Blood film from what I understand Camp Blood films to be. So, and then this one they say is like the first one to actually be filmed at a campground, and there was a lot of land too. It was like really big, like outside of Greenport and Long Island. Yeah, that was, and then like in the wintertime, it was very very peaceful, a lot of deer running around, and it was just a lot of wood space as well. And so we had all that area to ourselves too. So it was just like, yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and that was just, and that's one where, I really like the emotional journey that my character took in that. And so I was just like, okay, cool. So I'm, I can do this. And then, there was a scene where, like Will needed me to like, really get emotional for it. And I was just like, sure, why not? So it's like, okay, let's do this.
The scene when you're holding up the sign and crying. Is that the scene?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah, that one was just like, I was just like, I don't know. I was just I just had to think back to a really, dark time and just say, just use that for this. It's going to be fine. Just like you can turn it on, you can turn it off now. And it's like, yeah.
I think he did good in that scene because I've seen other movies where they're supposed to cry and you can't tell if they're crying or laughing. But you did pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that too. It was like,
I don't like so when they do that. It's like, that's not crying, that's laughing. But I think you did a good job.
What's so damn funny? The bitch just died here, It's like, man, you're. No, I was just saying. I'm looking at. I know what you're talking about, Steven. When they do that, where it's like, you think they're, it's like, it's like, okay, you about to be killed. What is so damn funny? Okay, why is you laughing? God damn it.
I did find funny how it's like your whole church group, when you're at a bar and how they yell, it's like, wow, what kind of church group like just goes all crazy like that? Like,
yeah, I'm like,
was it?
I'm like, yeah, I think I need to.
Yeah.
Was it you don't drink the hard stuff?
What kind of church is this?
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like you don't drink the hard stuff, and then she offers you a beer. Like, okay.
Well, Jamie and who was it? I forget the other.
Heather,
yeah,
Heather Harlow.
Yeah, Heather.
I love them. I love those two. They're just like, meeting them for the first time. It's like, I love it when I meet someone for the first time, and it just feels like we've been working together forever. So,
yeah,
that was a lot of fun to do.
It should have been like an AA group or so. You should have played their sponsor or something, and then they went off the wagon. That's how it should have been instead of a priest, because that was just weird.
That would have been interesting.
So they're like, oh gosh, they're off the rail again. Like this somehow they got dragged to the bar, but either way, it was entertaining to watch. Though it's like, yeah, they're going to hell, but that's okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
What would you say, whether it be Camp Blood or any other film, what was one of the most challenging roles that you had or happenings on the set?
Ooh, Ding, 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 ding. No, I was kidding. But yeah, I don't know about as far as the most challenging and stuff. I just had, I would say, a little bit Camp Blood, and then, and also like working on Amityville Bigfoot. That was, it was fun, but like it was still challenging and stuff because, some stuff had to be changed around on like the last minute, like right on the fly there. And I was like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, I got some improv experience, hey, go Second City, right? I've been there, but it's like,
Second City.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, yeah, but but that one was like, it was challenging in that, I'm like, okay, it really like required me to like, okay, just really be in the moment now, because like the script that we normally use is like, okay, that's gone now because we got to do the scene like this because that didn't flow well, and so now we got to try this. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I was up for it, and then but Camp Blood though, that one was like, I would say it came with its challenge because I'm like, I was basically like the main character in that, and it really like, I just felt like, okay, like, so in more ways than one, I was actually, I had to actually be the leader for this one. I had to, my character had to lead his church group, into like, I guess some kind of healing and everything. And then I had, everybody like cast and crew there, they're relying on me to basically have it together. So that one was like, I mean, of course it was, yeah, it was challenging, but it was a fun challenge. It was one that I was like, yeah, I'm up for it. And so, yeah, but as far as like the most challenging, I would say, I want to say like, oh, this film was like the most challenging I ever had. And then like, here comes another one that's like, okay, now this one is more challenging than that one. So, yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel that the challenge, motivates you to work harder?
Yeah, a little bit in a way. Yeah, I feel like the challenge is, it's a great motivator, especially like when it's one that you really feel like. I mean, but if I'm already feeling like I'm up for it and everything, I guess the challenge would be. I guess it wouldn't feel like such a motivator to work hard because it was already like in me to take the challenge head on and be like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's go, that kind of thing. But yeah, but I do hear what you're saying in that though, and I was like, yeah, sometimes yeah, sometimes I do, get that feeling, but not always though.
Have you thought of writing your own script or directing your own movie?
Yeah, I have actually. I'm actually planning on doing that right. Not planning on, but I'm actually working on something right now. A couple of short films, and I got a producer attached and everything. She's wonderful, and so we're just right now we're keeping everything under wraps right now until we can get the ball rolling and everything. Because I would hate to say, oh, this is happening, that's happening, then all of a sudden, there's a stalling and then nothing's happening, and so. Gotcha. Yeah, so right now we had agreed to really, keep it kind of, under wraps until there's an official release in the works.
Okay.
And I would like to direct. I directed some films back in college, and it was fun to do and everything, and also learning my style as a director as well, and also being an actor too. It's you have that, you have that in you where you can, talk to the actors and, kind of convey what you want to get out of them as performance wise and everything. And it's and of course, knowing that every actor works different. So my style in that is, I like to leave them alone and, let them, watch them bring their own, I guess, what do you call it? Their own motivation to the character or something like that, so to speak. And then, but if I needed something, of course, I'll step in and say, okay, I like this, but why don't we try this instead? That kind of thing. And so I would like to explore that path more, and I look forward to doing that, especially with the kind of secret projects I got coming up. So, I can't say anything just yet, but but soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that you can talk about that's coming up that is official, or you can say that you're doing, or all under wraps?
Oh no, I can talk about a few things. Yeah, there's I'm attached to the new Camp Blood that's coming out, and so I talked to Will this morning, and I'm playing a different character, so that's fun to do, and yeah, and then I'm also attached to be in Cheerleader Elimination, which is Julianne Prescott's solo directorial debut, and so that was a lot of fun. So I remember when she was talking about it, about a year or so ago, she was like, "Yeah, I definitely want you in my Cheerleader movie," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure, just let me know when." And then all of a sudden, here it comes, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's doing a Cheerleader movie," and then all of a sudden, when I was looking on Facebook and everything, and I saw a poster for it, designed by Avery. He's wonderful too. So it's and all of a sudden I get a message. It's from Julianne, and she's like, she wants me to be in it, and I was like, of course.
Yes, I shall see you there. So, we will be working on that one together, so I'll be coming on.
Yeah, and this will be my second time at cheerleader camp with with Julianne as well, no less. So it's I'm not too nervous because I've been there with Julianne, so she'll know what to do, and yeah, but every time I go to cheerleader camp, it's always a killer,
Literally.
No pun intended. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's that's another one too. I'm finding out that it was originally called Scream Bloody Murder, but now it's Cheer Bloody Murder. So yeah, that one is that one's on its way to be released soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but a lot of people wrote that one off, and I was I don't know. I enjoyed being on that. That was a lot of fun. It was my second film in Hollywood, and it was I actually got to meet famous people this time, and I'm meeting all these, everybody's dang, you hear them sirens and stuff like that. Because the hospital's a mile away. I'm oh yeah. So it's always an ambulance zooming by. I'm be quiet. But
they'll be okay. Give them 5 more minutes. They'll be fine. No,
yeah. So where was I? Oh yeah, back to Cheer Bloody Murder. Yeah, a lot of people wrote that off, because it was just a lot of drama behind the scenes, I guess. And so it was just I'm like, oh well, I guess we all can't be, satisfied with something. But it was like, it was really cool. I got to meet some new friends and everything. And this was like the only time where like everybody I worked with, regularly, they were all together on one film. And of course, if it wasn't for Sheer Bloody Murder, I wouldn't get Scream Legacy, and then who else? Wouldn't get Camp Pleasant Lake. So that was, what's another one? I'm trying to think like how it all got like, yeah, all the other films I did with Sean C. Phillips. That was, yeah, wouldn't have happened if I hadn't, decided to go ahead and just do or Sheer Bloody Murder. So that was, that was a fun time. I think I worked and that was one of my busiest films too. I think I worked out of I think it was 8 days. I worked 7 maybe or something like that. So, I had that one Saturday off because they were filming at they're filming somewhere and I wasn't in that scene. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna, go to Beverly Hills and have brunch with, my coaching group. So yeah.
Right.
So
what's up,
so
Hobbs?
that was a fun,
If you
hey, who's Hobbs? Hey, how's it going, man?
If you could do one fan film, what would that be for? Would there be a particular one you would like to do one for?
Oh, Oh yeah, Amityville Thanksgiving was fantastic. Thank you, man. Thank you. I love doing that movie. But yeah, one fan film that I would like to do. I would say a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. Yeah, that one would be very, very challenging and, something that I could, something that I could really sink my teeth into, or my, razor gloves into rather. But yeah, that would be yeah, doing a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film, that would be amazing. I think there's one coming out coming out soon where yeah, that's the one.
Dylan's
yeah,
Nightmare, and it's actually Hugo's going to be in it too. So
yeah, Miko Hughes is that's one I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah.
That's
really,
fine, yeah. But
really, one of the coolest franchises out there is Nightmare, because you got to be really creative with those dream sequences.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Especially maybe I can find a boiler room somewhere, and just yeah. I'm trying to think who would I have to play Freddy though. I think I know a couple of people who could pull off being Freddy. The fedora and the razor gloves and everything. And they'll just fall right into it. So yeah, so that would be fun to do.
Yeah, it's one of those roles that probably be hard. Everyone would be like, but judging them by Robert's performance. Be like,
yeah, and it's it's a fan film, so they can't afford the was it $125,000 a day that Robert charges or something? So it's I mean, that was like 10 years ago when I looked it up or something. It might be higher now, or I don't know. It might be negotiable, but who knows? But
no, I'll take 100,000. I'll give you a $25,000 discount. It's fine.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Wow. All right.
That would be something, if I could get, yeah, if I can get Robert Englund in something, that would be amazing. But yeah, that was I
always like
that would be,
I always liked how when he was right when he was doing Nightmare on Elm Street, he was also doing V. And the characters were polar opposite. Yeah. That was so crazy how polar opposite they were. This madman, murderous guy, and this other person that probably wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where you play the alien and stuff. Yeah.
I think that I don't know if that original one is on Tubi or not. I think the new one is, but I don't know if they have. The
no, the old one original is on Amazon Prime, but you gotta pay to rent it or buy it.
Even if you have Prime, I hate that when you have Prime, but you still gotta I mean, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand some of the newer stuff, but the older stuff like that, come on, that should be included in Prime.
Well, in the case of V, they know people are going to pay for it.
Yeah, that's true. So, is there any certain way that you would like to be killed in a movie?
Ooh, let's see. When it comes to horror, it's like ways to die. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just don't like. I'm not really. I mean, not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm not really a fan of like long drawn out torturous deaths and everything. But I mean, some deaths though will be. I mean, unless it's like super creative and it's like, okay, this one, they're gonna remember that. They're gonna be like, they're like, oh yeah, like you're the guy that got his spleen ripped out on this and that, and I was like, oh yeah. But like my death in Shark House, I think I still remember how traumatized one of the PAs were when when we were filming it, and I was like, oh yeah. And I think Will had to step out of the room because it was just so because he was just like, no, I can't watch that. But yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna save it for whoever. Do I collect physical media? Oh, not as much as I used to, but now everything's like streamed and stuff. And I still got some stuff in storage too. That reminds me, yeah, when I get back to LA, I gotta look at my storage facility. But yeah, getting back to what yeah, I just like a death to be like fun and creative and everything. Like in Shark House, I was supposed to get it one way. I was reading the script and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get gutted, get sliced up and everything. Okay, it's classic, but yeah, let's do it. And then but then like at the last minute, like 30 minutes before we were supposed to film that death scene, the effects guy and then and his assistant, they came to me and said, like, hey, like
we want to do this.
Yeah, we went. I was like, and then when they told me, I'm just like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's do it. Yeah. I was all up for it. I was like, yeah, they're gonna remember this one. And I was like, and I told Will, I'm like, man, like even if it gets this movie an NC-17 rating, do not cut it out. If you cut it out, I will not speak to you ever again. Like, don't cut it. I mean it. No, but he's cool. I love him.
Don't change it to this cool kill just to be cut out. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm like, definitely. But I was like, and then I'm just like, okay, put it like this. I can't really get into what it is, but I will never like taste chocolate syrup with red food coloring the same again without feeling like I still gag when I think about that. Now I'm just like, yeah, I'm cool with the chocolate syrup. You don't need that on there. And then but it was just like, because they needed that for the blood effects and everything, and it worked too. But I was just like, I was like really gagging and like throwing up for real almost because it was just like I had it with me and it was like, I kind of swallowed a little bit and it was like, and I just used it for the death scene as well. So it worked out, but still I'm like, yeah, they're like, yeah, that's disturbing. It's probably one of the most disturbing deaths in a movie. That's why I'm like, I think it's like, I think it's more disturbing than my death in Night of the Zomghouls, where I get carved up like a pizza. And so,
I have
an animatronic just like capture me and just like, and I'm like, oh man. And I was like, and I'm just mad that I still like I don't get to wear that shirt anymore. That was, I'm like, I like that shirt. It would have been a really nice conversation starter. They're like, what's the Z Zone? I'm like, oh, that's this movie I did in Vegas. I was like, yeah. But yeah, it was like, it had to go though. And it was like, I'm like, I can still wear it. It's all like tattered and drenched in blood, but that'll be a conversation starter as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Usually starting with, sir, are you okay? Like, yeah.
Here, sir, have $1. No, I'm not.
Yes.
It'd be a great prank show. Like, one of the Friday the 13th movies where they had to go to the hospital for something. The guy played Jason because they got nicked or whatever, and he still had the fake machete or whatever weapon in him. And they were like, he walks in, he's like, oh, got any Tylenol? I got such a bad headache. With his fake weapon sticking out of him. Poor nurse is standing there looking like, I wish I could see the look in that nurse's face when he walks in. Oh, I just want to look for a headache.
Yeah.
It reminds me of not like a death or anything. But Michael Bailey Smith, he was saying how he had like tattoos on and a swastika. He almost got in trouble for a swastika tattoo and tattoos that he had for in the movie and stuff. He's like, no, I'm an actor. It's not. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you might not want to be walking around with those. I was like, yeah. Actually, I was in the grocery store a few years ago, and I saw somebody with what looked like a swastika tattoo. They were ahead of me in the checkout line. I was like, ooh, yeah, I think I forgot something back at back in aisle 7. Yeah, let me just, I'm like, oh, I forget motherfuckers like that live around here. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, the versus the suburb is there's still motherfuckers that think like that.
Yeah. It's like, no, there's a
like, I thought I left these motherfuckers back in high school. I'm like, why are they still here?
In the producers, the one part where he's like, "Can I hate your jackets, your hats, your swastikas?" And he's like, "Oh, this was for a thing." Springtime.
That's a hell of a movie, the producers. I gotta watch it one of these days.
Both of them.
That was fun. Yeah, I gotta watch that one because I did a scene from that for one of my classes as well, and that was fun to do. I was like, just learning, like I never really read from a musical before, so that was fun too.
It's Mel Brooks. That man is a genius.
Yes,
he is.
His son Max is not that far behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that World War Z.
Nice.
That World War Z, that's Max. He wrote that book.
Oh, wow.
Although the movie is nothing like the book, but that's his work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because the book goes in 3 parts. The outbreak is done like as a gathering of old news reports and stuff. So it goes the outbreak, and the aftermath.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
So it's like when you read it, and it's like, this is Mel Brooks' son? Damn, this guy's he's good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is another one I want to work with.
Oh.
Yeah, if he does another movie, I'm like, yeah.
You really want to, because he's getting up there in years.
I was gonna say, isn't he like 90 something now, or
he's like 90 something? I'm like, yeah,
They just did
like Mel, real quick,
Yeah. They just did History of the World.
Yeah, he did History of the World Part 2 finally. Yeah, that's another thing that kind of turned me on to comedy as well. Just doing watching History of the World and all those other Mel Brooks ones. Men in Tights and all that.
Oh. Hey,
I was like, yeah, definitely.
My favorite line from that movie is when Robin Hood crashes that thing and he's saying something to the prince and he says something about unlike other people.
Unlike other Robin Hoods,
I have an authentic British accent, and he looks into the camera when he says that.
A little throw at Kevin Costner there because he kept going in and out.
Okay, Mel has done Frankenstein and he's done Dracula. Maybe hey, Congo, hey Mel, what about the Wolfman? There you go. So you can be like, hey Mel,
nice, buddy. Yeah, Yeah, Mel Brooks, if you're listening, do the Wolfman and put me in it, so I can work with you,
Yeah.
What you could probably learn from, in terms of like writing and comedy, what you could probably learn from that man.
Oh man, yeah, definitely.
And Spaceballs.
Yeah, him and yeah.
Him and who else?
You say what?
You started to say him and who else, David? You said him and...
I was thinking about it, but I kind of drew a blank, and I was like, wait, is that guy still making... Yeah, of course he is. And Spielberg's another one, gotta reach for the, gotta reach for the big time. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spielberg, if you're listening, yeah, what you got for me, man?
Oh, he's coming on next week. You can speak to him then. Yeah, I wish.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
How could if you were to meet him, how could you not fanboy out? Okay, like completely like locked jaw meeting him, you're like staring at him, creeping him out.
I would be so nervous. I'll be like, like y'all think I ramble on now. I'm like, wait till I meet somebody like Steven Spielberg and everything. And I was like, yeah, I already had because when I met Kane Hodder, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, oh my God, it's him. He actually walked in here, and I was like, oh, he's not all that big, but oh well, okay. But then I was just like, hey, I'm like, I really enjoy your work and everything. And yeah, I didn't get to see Hatchet 2 yet. And he's like, well, why not? And I was like, oh, they pulled out of the theaters before I could get there. But yeah, if Kane Hodder, if you're listening, I did see Hatchet 2 and I loved it, man. Keep up the good work. Yeah.
I think October and Scarefest. I'm like 90% sure I'll be going as press there. I'm just waiting to hear back. Yeah. So, but he's going to be there.
I just picked up that movie Kill Her Goats.
Killer Goats. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still got to see that one. Yeah, because that one looks like it's going to be intense and brutal. That's another thing I like about my horror movies. You know,
and that one too advertised itself at least on the back of the case. All practical, no CGI.
Yep, the way God intended.
Yes,
I watched that movie. She Comes from the Woods, and at first I'm like, oh, okay, that looks all practical, except for one scene where a guy gets his head blown off, and it's real quick. I'm going, that's CGI.
Yeah,
and it's not good CGI. It happens, but they did it so quick, you blink and you miss it. But if you pay attention, it's like that's CGI, and that's not good.
It's the Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
yeah. The Mortal Kombat blood.
Yeah, it's like.
My biggest gripe about CGI blood is when they show someone they get shot, and then you see them laying there, and there's no holes and no fake blood on the shirt. And it's like, didn't we just see all the blood splatter? Where's the holes?
No.
Yeah, that's one.
It's like someone wasn't paying attention to that now. You got to be consistent, you know?
Yeah. But one I hate is when, like somebody gets shot or something like that, or they don't fall away, they get click dragged away. It's like, how you click something and drag it, and it's like, they look like that. I'm like, really?
I watched one, this guy, he goes to shoot the shotgun at his windshield at somebody. And we all know if you're pointing your gun at a windshield, it's going to shatter, right? His windshield does it. His windshield does it, but the other car blows up showing it got hit. I kept going backwards, like, that's not how it works. The window goes, even if it's bad CGI, you can still do a little something. The window does not stay in contact when you point a shotgun at it and shoot.
Had the bullets had Shadowcat's power from X-Men, just right through. Speaking of Night of Zomghouls a little bit, is there any movie you would like to see with a kid's character in it? Like whether it's a place like Chuck E. Cheese or if there's just any kid's character in general that you think would make a good killer?
Oh, haven't thought of that one, but yeah, I think there are some out there with like Five Nights at Freddy's or something like that. I think I don't know if there's a possession scene in it or not, but I can't wait to see that one. That one I was looking forward to because I remember the video game and I was just like, oh shit, okay. Yeah.
Have you seen Wally's? Have you seen Wally's Wonderland?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, and
that performance. Could you do a performance like that where you literally, playing a main character, you have no lines, you just got to do everything physical, like that?
Yeah, I've done that too. I've done that years ago, and not another zombie movie actually. I didn't really have any lines and stuff. I mean, I think I did have a couple, but no, they didn't use it. But yeah, I had
there's a line in there about you taking a dookie on somebody.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
They thought you were a zombie at first. He's not a zombie. He's like, oh man, that's just wrong.
Yeah. I played a mentally challenged person too, and I was like, that was fun, and that was really daring too. And I was just like, because a lot of people were like, it was at a time where now it's like it's not a good idea to make fun of somebody like that. I mean, it never was, but at the same time, they're Jay, he's a great guy, awesome guy. I love working with him. I love to work with him again. And his humor is he was not afraid to go there with, because I worked on the web series with him. That's how I first, that's how we first started working together and everything, how we became friends and everything. So it was And I'm like, his way of humor was just like, it was just not afraid to go there. So that was, that's what really drew me to it and everything. But, of course I understand nowadays, like, with like cancel culture, everything, you gotta like really be careful because, and then they were saying, like, oh, the Oscar character was like very politically incorrect. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be correct.
Yeah. Well, they were like, yeah, because I did play, a mentally challenged person in a sketch comedy before that. And that's how I got casted in, not another zombie movie because they liked my performance in that. And so, because like the sketch was when this lady visits her friend, and she was talking about how her boyfriend has this this special needs kid, and he's like, no, I'm talking like he's like wearing a helmet, licking the windows, and just watching us while we having sex kind of thing. And she's just going on about people with special needs and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I get called downstairs. It's time to go to the zoo, and I come down like like all like happy and go lucky, like I'm this big dude and stuff like that, acting like a kid. And I just I come jumping down the stairs and everything. I was like, yeah, I get to go to the zoo. Yeah, the zoo. I love the zoo. And I was like, and then the woman's looking like, oh wow. I think it was an awkward moment sketch. Yeah, that's that's when the voiceover says awkward moments.
Did that
so
helmet
that was fun
get
to do,
uncomfortable? Did that helmet get uncomfortable having to wear that helmet?
It was very uncomfortable. It was like 2 sizes too small. I think it was the director's son's helmet. Yeah, when he was like in Little League or something. And so I'm like, like how you gonna get that little thing? And it's like, and I'm putting it on. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, and I'm like, that thing was like, it was like cutting out the circulation to my brain and stuff like that. And I was just like losing brain waves.
Some method
like,
acting. Okay. You were getting into character, shutting the brain.
Yeah, because I've been wearing it since I was a kid. So I was like, I just can't let it go. And then like I had the towel, one of my beach towels and stuff like that, just tied around like a superhero. And I'm like, yay, I'm gonna kill zombie, yay! And then,
Well, your character was smarter than the cousin or the pothead, like, yeah, crackhead guns, and let your character drive the bus and everything. Like, he was he was so dumb. And some dude in the helmet wanted to drive. I was like, okay.
He's like, yeah, old boy with the helmet, he wanted to drive. Yeah. That was a lot of fun to do as well. And I was just like, oh man. And that was another one where it was just like that movie there, that one was like, it really like I mean, if I wasn't in love with like show business and acting before, I was definitely in love with it after that, because it was just like that film was actually a labor of love. Because everybody in the cast, we worked regular jobs, and so so it was like we can only like shoot on evenings and weekends and stuff, and so it was just like we shot it over like every weekend from like January to September. So that was like a really long span of filming and everything. And I was like, oh wow. And I wasn't in every scene, so it was just like, okay, cool, they're gonna be, oh, they're doing that scene, okay, cool, so I'm just gonna chill. And I know I had to be in LA for a week or two, and I was like, okay, yeah, so they're like, okay, go ahead, we're just gonna be filming this, that, and the other. And then I came back ready to just finish it up. And so that was just and then a lot of extras. Like I remember like because we were filming out in the suburbs too, so it was like hundreds of people showed up, and they're like, and if I was like on my way to set or something like that, and I was lost, it was like, just look for the sign that's that's telling the zombies where to go. So I was like, oh yeah, we're right there. So, yeah. And so and I remember like young kids were showing up like oh, I want to be a zombie, or I want to get eaten by a zombie. And I'm like, really? Okay. Yeah, getting kids like involved in horror movies, that's like, that does my heart really good, because for a long time I thought I was the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed there were some kid zombies getting killed, and like, all right, they're going there. They're killing the kid zombies. So.
Yeah, and then like one of the was it the what's her name from Resident Evil, like the Alice character or something like that. She gets eaten by some kid zombies, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, the reporter from the second movie, the reporter that gets eaten by the kids. I think that it is.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about not another zombie movie. There was like this, this badass Linda Hamilton type.
Oh
yeah,
she comes in, and then all of a sudden they kind of go on her.
Yeah, it's like
those kid zombies. You got to watch out for them.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think how they were filming it and everything, it was like she's giving the motivational speech. Because we were thinking, Samuel L. Jackson in Deep Blue Sea, and so it was like, she's giving the speech, and then like one of the assistants or whoever, he was like off screen and everything, and he has one of the kid zombies, and he just picks the kid up and just like throws him, and he lands on her back and everything, and then the other kids come in and just start going to town and stuff, and so I'm watching this and I'm just like just enjoying it, and I'm like, wow, so that was a really
toss the kid at her.
Yeah, he wasn't too far away, so he didn't toss the kid too far, And yeah, speaking of tossing kids, that was not a real baby that I caught. So that was just...
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they didn't have a real baby or anything. So it was just like they just had a baby doll, and and then while we're running and stuff, one of the characters just like, he's got to ditch the baby, so he throws it, and then I just catch it, and then like, I keep running from the zombies and stuff. And he's like, I can't believe I killed that baby. I'm like, no, he's right here. I put him in my helmet and everything. That's when, like at the end of the movie, you saw when I didn't have my helmet. I was like, they're like, yeah, I bet your head can breathe now. You're not wearing that helmet. And I was like, I had something to hold the baby in. So
I guess
that was a lot of fun.
The real father was a mannequin, man, I guess. The real father was a mannequin because of the fake baby.
Yeah, because
he's like, oh, bitch, who's what do you mean I'm not the father?
He's like, is there Indian in your family? He's like, yeah, I think Cherokee or something like that. No, I mean Indian, like 7-Eleven owning red dot on the forehead. I was like, oh. I'm like, oh my God.
Before he says anything, he's like, oh, God. He's like, oh my God.
I'm like, my grandfather's rolling over in his grave. You're like making fun of Indians now.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was also a fun time. And also, speaking of that year and everything, that was the year I went back to LA for the second time. I did an actors intensive, and that's when I received the sign from God that, acting is like the thing I'm supposed to be doing,
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm guessing it was a sign from God. It was, I was doing an industry showcase intensive where we performed for like agents and casting directors. And one of the casting workshops, I get assigned King of Queens, that show and everything. And then me and my scene partner, Maria, we were just having fun with it, and just, and we performed it for the class, and it went over very well. And then, later that evening when I got back to my hotel, I'm watching TV, I'm flipping through channels and stuff like that. And you know what? They show that King of Queens is about to come on, and it's that episode, and the scene they show in like the teaser or something like that. It was that exact scene where he's like, you got this really sexy piece of, man meat here, and you just got to get used to it, And I was like, oh wow. I'm like, what are the chances of that? Like, was that a coincidence? No, I don't believe in coincidence. That's a sign from.
Yeah,
it is a message. Just like I do a scene from King of Queens, and then later on I'm watching TV later that night, and that episode is coming on. Like
episode, like yeah,
that exact episode, and they show that exact scene. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known it was that. It was the scene that I did in class earlier that day. So I'm just like
this seems
wow.
familiar.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, wow. And I'm like, that is like, it was a sign from God that I'm on the right track and stuff. And so I'm like, I was just like, yeah, we definitely got to keep going with that. So,
yeah. So
that was amazing.
That is awesome. Like that would never happen again. That is so weird how it just happened the same day. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to act or direct or get into the industry?
Well, I'd definitely say, if it's in your heart and soul to do, then go for it. Don't sit back thinking about it, and don't let definitely don't listen to none of the naysayers, and yeah, just don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and go for it, especially if you want to move from one area to another, especially like if you don't have if there's not a lot of acting going on in your city or something like that, and you want to move someplace like say New York or LA, I would say just do it. Of course you got to put some money aside, a lot of money, because it's expensive out there. But yeah, but just don't stay in the planning stages too long, and don't let a lot of time pass before you just go for it, and you just never know what'll happen. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's as the old cliche goes, it's not in the destination but the journey, and so you just gotta enjoy the journey. And yeah, it's a lot of fun things that happen along the way, and celebrate your wins no matter how great or small. I mean, it's still, even if it's not much of a win, it's still a win, nonetheless. So definitely celebrate it. And yeah, just go for it and have fun. Yeah, stay happy too, stay positive. Whether it takes a long time or it happens right away, just be happy and enjoy the whole process. Yeah.
Any other questions, Echo?
Is there any movies you're looking forward coming out here in the future that you're looking forward to seeing?
As far as what I'm in, or
like
just coming out in theaters?
Well,
all around. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Cheerleader Camp again. That should be fun. And then yeah, Dracula in the Hood, that one. I mean, the production's been pushed back a little bit, so I'm, looking forward to, when we get started and stuff. So that one's going to be another fun one. And then as far as releases, looking forward to Amityville Shark House. Everybody's seeing that, as well as Cheer Bloody Murder, and my other films, Camp Pleasant Lake and 72, and oh yeah, Moon Rocks. That's another fun one that I did in New York. I got to smoke weed in that one and fight aliens. So can't wait for everybody to see that. Yeah. And Bloody Nun, the third one. That's another one I'm looking forward to. I think there's going to be a release time. I think it's coming soon. I don't know the exact date, but also speaking of nuns, looking forward to seeing The Nun Part 2. Because that one, the Conjuring spinoffs, the first one is pretty good, but then the second one is usually better. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. If it follows the same as Annabelle, that kind of thing. Because the first one, I mean, it was okay, but then Annabelle Creation and Comes Home, that one was much better. So
I think
I'm looking forward to The Nun too.
Someone actually did a timeline of when all the events in that Conjuring universe go, and I think The Nun might be the first. I'm not sure.
It is. It's the earliest one. Like
I
think it takes place in the 50s.
Yeah, I recently got introduced to the franchise with The Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh yeah,
that was an experience. It's like, especially when the possessed and they're doing all these movements here, all the bones snapping.
Yeah, all the contorting and all that stuff.
That sound just like, oh, I'm not gonna forget that anytime soon.
Yeah, that one was just. Yeah, but I love the Conjuring movies, and I'm looking forward to the fourth one if when they get around to it. And then so let's see, The Nun 2, I'm looking forward to that. And then Saw X. Yeah, that's gonna be
Yeah.
Hello, I want to play a game.
Yeah, the trailer for the new one looks really good. With him getting revenge on the doctors because supposedly
that guy's got to give himself brain surgery, and and my father, who's like a doctor, I showed him the trailer. He's like, if you do that wrong, you're gonna really fuck some shit up. Like you won't be able to walk after that. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's a fucking torture porn, Dad. But anyway. Yeah, and so Saw X, and then
what's his name from?
You say what?
What's his name from? Frankenhooker used to always give himself brain surgery. the drill and Frankenhooker.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that movie. I mean, I remember Frankenhooker. Want a date?
It's like when he needed an idea.
Yeah, I remember seeing them.
Yeah, when he needed because I need an idea. Pulls out the drill.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we also have the new Dracula movie coming out.
Oh yeah, Last Voyage of the Demeter or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Dracula, of course, yeah, that one should be very fun to watch. And then, but also speaking of vampires, I'm wondering when they're going to get around to releasing the Salem's Lot remake, or remake, that kind of thing. So,
that's right.
Yeah, because they were.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They had it. They had it for September of last year, then nothing, and then I'm up here checking my app on the Cinemark app and seeing okay, I don't see no advanced tickets. I mean, what the fuck is going on? But they said it got they shelved it or something. I'm like, they what? I mean, that would have been really, and it's I think the same guy that did I think James Wan was doing that one. I was like, man, I gotta release that one. What's wrong with y'all? If James Wan is behind it, it's gonna be moody and scary as fuck. So it's what's really going on?
Is he one of the ones that's supposed to be working on the Dead by Daylight movie, or is that somebody else?
I'm not sure.
Because they announced it was him and somebody else. They announced the director in his studio working on that Dead by Daylight movie.
Yeah.
I want to say it was him, but I could be wrong.
Switching the water.
Yeah. I have both with me, so I'm like, okay, cool.
The clear Pepsi. One of the last things of my question for you is I ask everybody, what are a few interesting facts about yourself fans may not know about, whether other talents or hobbies that you enjoy doing?
Let's see. Other facts about me. Well, let's see. If I wasn't in film school, I would have definitely gone to study architecture. So yeah, because I always I always felt Chicago is the city of modern architecture, and it was always fascinating to me, tall buildings and stuff. And so, yeah, and then another one, let's see. I mean, some people know about this, not everybody does, but that one about the King of Queens one, that was it's another interesting fact. And then let's see. And I got you say what?
Or other hobbies that you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Oh, I like hiking adventures. Those are always fun to do. Yeah, I did, and I also did the Hollywood sign hike and stuff. I'm sure a lot of people done it, but to me it was a lot of fun to do because it was that one was the most it was a very spiritual journey for me. So that was I'm new to Hollywood, and I was just oh yeah, let's walk up to the Hollywood sign. So I was just I walked all the way up there, and then my phone died, and then I was walking back down in the dark. So I'm I had only the night sky and maybe the lights of the city to guide me. So I was because I was the only person up there, and then I was hearing rustling in the bushes and stuff, and I was oh, okay, so is this how it's gonna end for me? Because I had just did a movie where I'm following my drunk friend into the woods, and we both get taken out by the creature. So it's I'm okay, so this is it, right? But no, I ended up walking all the way back down from the top of the Hollywood sign all the way into Los Feliz, and then I get to a Rite Aid and buy another charger and stuff, and then after I got home, I my legs and feet were throbbing from all that. That was 13 miles basically that I walked. So that was that was another thing too. I like to that's another hobby of mine too, walking for exercise and everything. And so that's why on a good day I can do I can do 10 to 12 miles. And one time I walked all the way from my place in the suburbs to downtown Chicago. That was everyone was oh, did you walk back? I'm no, I'm not that crazy. I took the subway back.
I already already walked this far. I'm good. No, I'm not walking.
Yeah,
Just my everyday 26-mile walk. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wonder if the remains, because that sign used to be bigger in Hollywood. I wonder if the remains, the sign in the Hollywood sign used to be bigger because it used to be Hollywood Land. I wonder if there's any remains of the land part still up there, or if it's completely been removed.
I don't know, but I know a lot of it went through like renovations and stuff, and then, but yeah, getting back to why that was like the most spiritual, like a spiritual journey was because I equated it to, like actually pursuing my career in Hollywood. It was just like there's no straight path up there. It's like a winding road, and then some people will be there before you, and then you'll get there before some people. So it was just like, and then you get to that point where, okay, if you go this way, like, yeah, you may not go as far, but you'll still see it in the distance, and it's still a good view. But if you go this way, it's a tougher road, but you can get to the very top. And so I was like, okay, let's get to the top then. That's what I did. And then there's always that and that's another bit of advice I would give to people as well, is to keep going no matter what. Even if like when you get to certain points where you don't even see the sign, and it's like, yeah, because there's some winding roads where another part of the mountain will be in the way, or you'll be behind the sign, you just won't see it in your view. So it's like, just keep going, you'll get there, trust me. And so that's another bit of advice I give to people, like when they're going for, if they're pursuing a dream in Hollywood as well. So yeah, so it was just like, yeah, I learned a lot about myself, and and I just learned that there was there's really nothing I can't do, especially if I put my mind to it and put some determination to it as well. So that was fun, and it was a really nice view as well. And I wish I'd gotten that sunset before my phone had died, but
yeah.
That's another thing. Always make sure your phone is charged too, because when it dies, you can't get an Uber or nothing. You just gotta walk the extra 13 miles back into the city.
Yeah, and listen to something in the bushes rustle.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like something's chasing you. And then I ran into somebody that was gonna go up there, and she was asking if that was the way up there, and I was like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, but there was. I'm thinking, like, should I tell her what I heard in the bushes, like a little ways up, or I don't know, is she gonna think I'm crazy? Or I'm like, nah, I'm probably not gonna. It was probably nothing.
Then
so
you
I was
read
like,
in the newspaper, woman goes missing on.
like, oh yeah, I hope she's okay. Like, so yeah, if you were watching and you ran into this, this big black dude who was like out of breath when he came back to where the observatory is, and he told you which way to the Hollywood sign, I hope you're okay, just so you know that. So, yeah. But that was fun to do. I would love to do it again, especially since the anniversary of that day will be coming up soon.
Okay.
So,
just if you do it, make sure the phone's charged.
Or bring
exactly. I'm gonna bring another one too.
Yeah.
Like I got an extra tablet that I'm gonna bring with me, so just in case.
There you go. But be prepared. You're like, now I learned.
Yeah, and I'm actually going earlier too, so I'm like, yeah, sunsets are nice, but it's good to go early when everybody else is still sleeping. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see, almost an hour and 40 minutes, 39 minutes. So it's been fun. Any other your socials or anything you want to share, or where we can
you can follow me on Instagram. It's official_David Perry, and Twitter, or X as they calling it now.
Yeah, it's X
like
now.
At David Perry. Yeah,
looks
at
like
David
a freaking
Perry
adult
88.
site. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's what I thought it was. I'm like, I looked at it, I'm like, where the hell did this X come from? And I click on it, it's Twitter. I'm like, Elon Musk, you bastard. Just calling everything X now. I bet when Sesame Street was brought to you by the letter X, I bet he wet himself a little bit,
He does like that letter, doesn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, on Twitter or X, I'm at David Perry 88. And on Facebook, it's official David Perry. And so follow me, follow my journey, as my friend Mike Ferguson says. Just, it's fun.
That's the guy with all the tattoos that scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He was actually like one of the first, before I got to Hollywood, he was like one of the first celebrities I met, and he was just like the coolest. And then when I met him in person, I was like, oh, like wow, Mike Ferguson. I'm like, he's just play cool, he's a cool guy. So yeah. And then we actually officially became friends on Night of the Zomghouls, and so that was another fun one as well. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again. It's been fun. And once the other projects come out and you can officially announce yours when there's a release date, always welcome back, of course. So.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just saying, thank you all for having me. It's been amazing. It went by so fast, so I'm having a great time.
So, I mean, if you want to stay on a little longer, I mean, if there's anything else, or, I mean, it's all good. If you just want anything else on your mind, or any other
here's the bonus
in
fact.
the chat, or
how about this?
Here's a
what's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Let's see. There's a few of them, but yeah, it depends on what kind of day I'm having. Is it a Fright Night soundtrack kind of day, or is it a Flashdance soundtrack kind of day? So, those are always, when I had the tape when I was a kid, and I was just, I played that whole thing out, and I was like, oh yeah. Never saw the movie until like later on, but then I was like, I love the music though. Yeah, and then but another bonus fact that most people may not know about, but okay, actually, when I was on Cheer Bloody Murder, Tom Sizemore gave me a ride home.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the coolest. I was like, I'm still like, I mean, yeah, rest in peace to him and everything, but that was just like, yeah, after he got done filming his scene and stuff, and I was making friends with his assistant / friend already as well, and so we were just kind of chilling, and it was time to go, and I wasn't needed that day, so he was like, and she just said, it was actually her that said first, like, oh, like, hey, let's give you a ride home, and I was like, well, you don't have, and then and Tom was like, sure, come on, I was like, okay, so like, and I think he was living in Burbank at the time, and I'm staying in East Hollywood, so he kind of went out of his way for me, and I was like, wow, that never happens out here. So it's like, wow, that was something to really remember and appreciate and stuff. And so he was a really cool dude. And, I got to be in 2 more films with him, before like I said, when he was on Mistletoe Massacre, when he rapped and said his goodbyes to everybody, I didn't know that would be the last time I see him. So definitely rest in peace to him, and, condolences still to his family and friends and all that. So yeah, that was another, fun fact about me as well. Not the one that's going around IMDb saying I was a football captain in University of Nebraska. I'm like, who put that there? I'm like, I never been to Nebraska. That's my flyover zone.
There is
that's a fact right there. I'm not never been.
There is somebody used to do a YouTube series called Wikipedia Fact or Fiction. She started a new one, IMDb Fact or Fiction.
There we go.
And just read all this stuff off so the person can go, no, yes, no, yes. Oh, they can expand on this.
Yeah, because I guess apparently anyone could just add stuff on there, so I don't know. But...
Yeah, someone was doing that to him.
Yeah, they were doing that to me. It got fixed though, so yeah. Yeah, there was some they actually said it was me that wrote it, a description to the stalking, but they used my name, and I'm like, I didn't write that. Like, no, but it's gone, so we don't need to talk about it. But yeah.
Okay.
A little bit more security on there when putting information, because who knows what they might.
Yeah, they do, because people were just being random as fuck on there, so it was just like.
Yeah, and then just people putting stupid stuff and facts that are supposed facts that aren't true, and it's just like, why say dumb stuff just to, But
yeah, like now I'm being romantically linked to Natalie Perry. Now.
I saw that. The love of her life. Like, wait a minute, what? Randomly, like, waiting for information, and also they see the love of her life. She met the love of her life. Dave Perry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I mean,
the fun stuff is in life of an actor.
Yeah. I mean, she's cool and everything. She's beautiful and all that, but I mean, I don't think I'm her type. And plus, both our last names are Perry. I mean, spelled different, but still, it's like, and then actually, I think hers is something else. I forgot what it was, but I'm actually Perry. So it's like, yeah. That was just,
like
Will and Tim are still clowning me for that.
Yeah, it's like if they're gonna link you to somebody, have them do like J-Lo or somebody, some famous person.
Somebody like that.
I mean, like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, like, yeah.
I got her on speed dial.
Hello, J-Lo. How's it going? Just put her on speaker. Bring her on the show next time.
Or like, yeah, like maybe like me and Beyonce or somebody. Like when Jay-Z's away, the bee will play. Oh my god. Lordy. She's gonna kill me.
Yeah, I'm sure she will be watching it. The bee will play. Man, you're gonna get stung.
Yeah, hey, I got my wasp spray, so they can bring it on for all I care.
And the one that shoots like 20 feet or 30 feet or whatever, so you just be back. There we go, I'm safe.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
There's a new moment for TMZ.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I incur the wrath of the beehive. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, but actually I'm safe because you know what? I'm in the Tina Turner fan club, so like, and if it wasn't for Tina Turner, there would be no Beyonce. So there, So,
yeah.
I'm safe. Yeah. May she also rest in peace as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she passed.
Like, I'll miss
writing her. Listen to that. We don't. Need
I'll miss writing her letters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You ever get anybody to write back?
You say what?
When you wrote those letters, do you ever get anybody to write back?
No, I wasn't expecting it to. But actually, you know what? There was one time when I wrote Bill Cosby, and his assistant wrote me back. So it was just like, but still, that was like, like wow. And then, so yeah, that was when he was, incarcerated and everything. I just sent him letters, like just birthday cards and Christmas cards, nothing too fancy. And then there was
little cups of pudding and Jello.
You got a lot of that.
Yeah, a coupon for Jello pudding. Like, yeah, just take it to your local grocery store and get $1 off. But what's another one? Like another celebrity that responded. Oh yeah, Shaka Khan's another one. I was like, wow, I get notified that she responded to something, and I was like, and then Roberta Flack's another one, and then I don't know if y'all know who she is. She's the one that did, Killing Me Softly before Lauryn Hill.
Yeah,
and so that was cool. Like, yeah, I forget. Like, I mean, it is their social media, but like a lot of times I know it's like. A lot of times it may not be them. It may just be somebody that manages their social media. But still, I'm like, it's a proxy, so I'll take it.
It's like I got into an argument with some wrestler on Twitter about his history of getting arrested for drugs and alcohol, and then later on they found out, they broke the news. It wasn't him that ran his Twitter. It was some criminal he hired to do it. It's like, so I was getting into an argument with a criminal. Just won't say what the guy did because it's really inappropriate, but it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
just as long as that's actually Ron Perlman that's tweeting, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
When they used to do,
I met him too. Great guy, awesome guy. Him and Guillermo del Toro. I met them at a special screening in the Chicago Film Festival.
Ooh.
And he's another one I want to work with as well because I heard he likes to go out and eat. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's eat.
Let's go out and eat.
Del has such a vision with his stuff. You can see it like in with a Pacific Rim, the Hellboy movies. This is vision. It's just so like Devil's Backbone. Is the one that had the bomb in the middle of the courtyard.
Oh yeah, that was a special screening. Yeah, I remember that one now. I forgot the name of it, so thank you.
It was like randomly there's like this orphanage and there's a bomb in the courtyard. It's like no one wants to mess with it because it might go off.
Yeah, that movie had me on edge the whole time too because I thought like oh my god, if it explodes, I'm like I just can't watch. But that was a good movie though. There was an explosion in it that killed a bunch of people, but not from the bomb in the courtyard.
Yeah, but his
that
vision,
was another.
To work with him and with his vision and the artwork and stuff would be something else.
Yeah, it would be.
To walk on set,
that would be amazing.
To walk on set and you just also you would see all this stuff. Like I think it was the Hellboy movie, the second one that really had it. You're like, ooh.
I haven't watched the new one with what's his name from Stranger Things, David Harbour. I haven't watched that one yet, but I don't know. So it's like Ron Perlman was awesome in Hellboy, so I don't know.
It's
awesome all around.
So, well, yeah, true. Cool guy too. He was at Spookella. I got a chance to meet him. So, have you been speaking conventions? You plan on doing any conventions soon, whether as a guest or attending, either or?
I would like to attend the convention one of these days, but I mean, I'm so nervous. I wouldn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, it's like, especially a lot of the conventions I've been reading about. It was like, man, it's like Disney World. You can't see it all in one day. So
yeah,
I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
there's one.
I would like to try to go to some of them. Yeah,
there's one in Chicago right now. Was it near Chicago?
Yeah.
Flashback.
I forget which one.
Oh, Flashback Weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a friend. I got a friend there, and he got to meet Joe Bob Briggs, the kid from the original Child's Play,
Alex Vincent.
And in costume, Art the Clown Girl, and the Hero Girl from the second movie.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But but Darcy wasn't. The male girl wasn't there. But the sounds of it, she her cat or something died. That's all her posting something.
Oh. Yeah. I would love to go to a convention if they're going to be there as well, because Lauren Lavera, she's amazing. I mean, I follow her on Twitter, and she is. Yeah.
I was her sort of unofficial photographer. at Spookella. I was taking pictures next to her. I'm like, yep. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And then
when I get notified that she responded to something I said, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to maybe get her on the show eventually. I told her about it, but I just got to get through, send an email to either her publicist or someone there. So, but she's been doing a lot of conventions, so. But that's the thing with convention season; it's kind of hard to get people. And also with the SAG strike too. Now I don't know if she would come on or not. Even though it does say they can do independent podcasts, but I guess morally, they feel even though if they can, they just want to support, which I understand. But it sucks. I wish it would end.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I mean, I'm actually planning on joining the union once my non-union commitments are up. So I was just gonna join and then just take that plunge into unionhood basically. And so yeah, but like any other like filmmakers who want to work with me after that, like if you're doing a non-union film, just just make a union if you want me in it. So yeah. And I mean, it's a lot of paperwork. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a bunch load of paperwork, but we can get through it. It's not as intimidating as it looks. And I got a few contacts on the inside already, so it was like they were very helpful, especially the Chicago SAG office. They were extremely helpful when me and my friend did we're doing a film that the one that got me eligibility. So it was just like, it was just a lot to do. And then there was some fines that, we had to like kind of dispute, but other than that, it was,
Fine.
It was pretty smooth, a smooth process. Yeah, a lot of times like you can get fined by the union if you have like, so I think they said something like if you had so many, like you can only have so many union actors and stuff, because the number changed now. It used to be just at least one, but now I heard it was like 3 or 4 now. And then they said something like if you had too many non-union actors in there, you can get fined for each one, I heard. So it was just like, I don't remember exactly how it works. So I just gotta, I gotta see what they might have changed about that one as well. And so, and then of course there's just, following the, I guess just following the guidelines for like meals and stuff, like meal times and, the penalties and stuff. You don't want to, I mean, that's never happened on any sets I've been on, when I was first like becoming union eligible. It was, there was never really any, there was never any of those violations and stuff. So it was just, always like, I mean, at least I didn't see any. So it was very smooth and, easygoing. And so I've been thinking about joining for a while, but now like, people were saying, maybe you should join. And, like my manager and everybody, they're like, yeah, we got to get you in the union. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah.
So to be eligible for that, how many films or how can you be eligible to do that, to apply for the union?
Well, to be eligible for SAG-AFTRA, you have to either have worked on a union project that that gets you that grants you eligibility, or as they call it, Taft-Hartley. And like I think the ones that you can, I mean, I don't know if it's how much it's changed now, but like years ago it was if you did like the SAG New Media and SAG Modified Low Budget and up, then that was going to get you eligible. And then also you have to be a member of one of the sister unions, like Equity, for example. You have to be in their union and in good standing for at least a year and have like worked on an equity project, because that's how a couple of friends of mine became SAG eligible. They were in Equity, and then they became eligible through that. And then I had a couple of friends, before the merger went through, they joined AFTRA. See, at that time you had to, you could just pay the fee and join and you would be in. So like people joined and, they were in AFTRA. So when the merger took place and, went through and everything and was finalized, that's when they were just grandfathered into SAG-AFTRA. So I'm like, sneaky bastards. And I would have gone that route, but then I was talking to an actress friend of mine, Rula Gardinier. She was saying, she advised me basically like don't join the union until you're ready. That's another thing I heard like a lot coming up in the business. It was like, don't join until you absolutely have to. And then what Rula said that time was that really had me just like, yeah, I'll just, I'll earn my way in, basically. She says, they'll know when you've earned your way in and when you've paid your way in. And I was like, they would, huh? Okay, I'll just earn it, that way, Yeah. So, but it was, that was like it would take a few years to get eligible for that, but I'm glad I stuck with it. And so now I'm just planning on officially joining now in the next, I would say within the next year.
Okay.
Hopefully the strike will be over by then.
Yeah, hopefully, but I'm hearing somebody say that the actors' strike might end like quicker than the writers' one. I was like, well, who knows? But we're just gonna hang in there and fight the good fight, basically.
I saw that post where they had cut some trees They said they trimmed them, but they had the actors and the writers were using for shade. And then you look at how they did the trees.
Oh yeah,
like that's not trimming. That's cutting them before you go to pull the trees out.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that wasn't trimming at all because they were like, and it was really hot too. Like it gets to be like in the triple digits out there a lot of times, and so. Wow, they actually did that just to like, so people couldn't get shade or anything. That's just wrong.
And then Universal to be like, well, it happened to be, that time we were supposed to do it. Oh, well, you're supposed to cut the trees back.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that wasn't trimming. That was straight up cutting.
Yeah. Yeah, I also believe the check's in the mail, right? But then also, and then another, like, I'm hearing an executive was saying something like they're just hoping to drag this out for as long as possible until people start losing their homes and their apartments and their families are starving, and then they just come running back to us and they take whatever we give them. I'm like, that is just, whoever did that needs to be like, catapulted out of the industry. Just like, like put them on one of them catapult things, have them tied up and then just like that, fly them all the way out of Hollywood or something.
I remember Ron Perlman uploading that video where he was like, telling up whoever said that, he was like, just like, screw you, he's like, fuck off.
He's like, fuck you. I even saw this like news saying, like, what do you have to say? He's like, fuck you. He's like, whatever, yeah.
Exactly, and I second that, It's like, fuck AI and fuck whoever said that,
Even Danny Toho was down there with like water and stuff, and he was saying, this is also affecting the people that work for us.
All the
assistants. He talks about like gardener, and like seems like talking about, hey, like gardeners, got to pay my gardener.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people gotta. Yeah, even the big stars gotta. They gotta. They got stuff to take care of too. So it's like, and of course the the working actors too, the ones that just barely make a livable wage and stuff. Of course, it's all for them as well. So and then, so I would like for this to end and me enter the union, being able to get a get a fair wage and stuff. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to be paid for an audition and stuff. I doubt that's going to happen, but I would like to get
39
like
39 independent movies who were working with that. They got the green light because these various independent studios were able to do what the big studios weren't able to do or willing to do, and that is come to an agreement. So that these films, and they don't make anything as big. Like A24, I think was one of them. They don't make about as much money as Disney or Paramount.
Not yet, but they're getting there though. Especially if Talk to Me doesn't need like good business.
I heard they have an idea for a sequel and a prequel. Like they got already ideas for that. So I've heard it's doing good. I want to see it.
Yeah, it was scary. That one was just like, very well acted too. That's another, horror movie. That's another type of horror movies I like to do as well. Something where it's like, and I'm like, and one of the guys in it kind of looked like me too. So I was just like, I could do that. Yeah. Maybe it's a sign. Like these are the kind of movies you gotta start going for, going forward and stuff.
Yeah. Did you see
what I've?
Go ahead.
Did I see the what now?
I was gonna say the Slaughter House with the sloth that's coming out. Have you seen that trailer?
Oh, and I haven't seen that one yet.
It looks fun.
Yes, I'm sure it's gonna be fun though. They've done killer animal movies before. They've done zombies, killer spiders, killer snakes, killer this, killer that, but a sloth. Yeah,
now they're giving the animals cocaine and stuff.
Well, cocaine crabs from outer space.
Yeah, cocaine shark and shit. It's not even a shark, I think. I saw that movie. I was like, that's not a. Okay, it's never mind.
It's like a crab shark and then that flying creature, and yeah.
What's funny about Cocaine Shark is about sometime before they announced it, there was boxes of containers of drugs found floating in the water. I think it was off Florida or whatever.
Wow.
So there were these jokes. Are we going to get a Cocaine Shark now? And not long afterwards, Cocaine Shark. It's like, oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, I think Polonia did it too. So I was like, kudos to him,
Well, it was originally going to be called Narco Shark originally, and then they changed it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's a studio thing, whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
But the sloth thing, though, that's just like, oh, Lordy.
Slaughter.
Why?
Yeah.
Why to go of all the animals you can go for? You have to go for that one.
Let's
And
go for a lazy killer one.
And the first thing you see in the trailer is this girl is going there to take a shower. She hears a sound. She opens it up, and those little, what do they call those bath foam things, whatever, that you can put soap on and scrub yourself with? They got a name for
Oh,
them.
yeah. I forgot what they're called. Like,
Yeah,
loofah thing or something like
it's
that.
got it in his hand. You see it right towards her. It's just like, that's the moment when you know, oh, Lord. Just no. Just no.
No.
Hell,
Yeah, it sounds bizarre, so I'm going to see it.
and Sharknado just turned 10.
Oh, wow.
And supposedly, because Asylum's been advertising, they shot and they fixed some editing up, effects up, and shot some new stuff, making it the Star Wars of Sharknado movies. Oh, Lord. Now I'm tempted to see it.
Sharknado Wars?
There's like the Star Wars movie of Sharknado movies.
How they edited, added
all
stuff
this
in.
new stuff they put in it, and there's like, if you went to some convention, you can get a free digital code for it. And it's just like, oh, Lordy, I want to see it just because I just really want to see it. It's a terrible movie. Did not age well.
Yeah.
But I want to see this.
It was fun, though. It's like, it was, movies like that are just, they're fun. And a lot of them don't take themselves too seriously. And I guess, that's okay as well.
But did you know Sharknado is part of a shared universe?
A shared universe? Oh my god.
Okay, go. You got the Shark. It starts off as the Sharknado movies. Then it goes to Lava Lantula, which they take place. And remember that there's a show on Sci-Fi called Z Nation?
Oh yeah.
Same universe, just afterwards. And I guess some of the characters do appear in one of the movies, and one of the Sharknado movies. And there's a line in one of the episodes of Z Nation where they're like, "Oh, there's a tornado of zombies," and someone goes, "It's just not sharks."
Jeez.
That's why we need one more movie to tie everything together. How the nation tie into all this? One more. Asylum. I know I pick on you, Asylum, but come on, let us know. How does this all? How does everything? How does this all intertwine?
Let's do another Zombies. The zombies.
No.
Well, the aquarium of the dead or whatever, they actually mention like that's where the same whatever that gave them.
Because see, if you watch them in order, it goes Zombies 2,
yeah,
then Zombies, and then Aquarium of the Dead. That's the order you got to watch them in. The only real reason to watch Aquarium of the Dead, Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my girl Vivica. I love her.
So
yeah, man. We go way back to Set It Off. So that was just, that was my other movie from growing up. I was like,
and the last Sharknado
that's another kind of movie I like to do too.
Yeah. And the last Sharknado
a heist flick, yeah.
Oh, heist. Ooh. Let's see.
Yeah, a really cool heist flick or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like the lines of let's see. Ocean's 11 maybe, or the one about the ambulance. It's one about an ambulance.
Yeah, ambulance. That was a really good one. Very, action packed and stuff. Had some great cinematography too. It really like Los Angeles is a character in that movie. So that was, that's a fun one to do. So I was like, yeah, if you're ever gonna do something like that, hey, give me a call. Let's let's do it. And, set it off. I finally walked down that tunnel too when I first got to LA. I was like, oh, there it is. And then, and I'm like, this is where they split up. And I'm like, well,
so many movies you can watch and go, oh, in California, even with video games, the game GTA, you can walk around a lot of those locations. Like that pier that's got the Ferris wheel on it. And like those are real locations. They even have Muscle Beach in the game. I don't know why they want Muscle Beach.
I still haven't been there yet. I would love to, just take a trip over to the beach cities and just hang out, see the end of Route 66, that kind of thing, and
walk about 26 miles down. Just hike.
Just sit there and go, I saw that in this movie and in that movie. Yeah. That's where what's that movie with about the what was his name? The guy that had the bad day and he starts gunning down people.
Falling Down or something like that?
Yeah.
That's the one Michael Douglas, I think. Is. Yeah, where he snapped and he snapped at the fast food joint and he paid for his food or something shit like that. Wait a minute, he robbed you, but he paid for the food?
Yeah, that's where he broke down and that's where he did that. Those people that actually have channels where they literally hunt down these different locations.
Oh, yeah.
And they show them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. That's why, and they have a lot of those in LA, of course. And so that's where, because I know I walk by the Elm Street house every so often. So that was always, I just always giggle a little bit when I'm like, wow. I'm like, I live about 1.5 miles away from here. So I'm like, let me just,
So let's go by.
I think I walk by and take a selfie and they're like, oh, I've done it so many times. They're like, oh, that's David Perry. He always, this never gets old to him. And I'm like, they're saying, oh, there's David Perry. He's probably on his way to Astro Burger again. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
They got some really good burgers too there. Yeah.
To go back a little bit, you said that what was it? The other cheerleader movie that's coming out. What's it called again? Cheer Bloody
Murder. Yeah.
Cheer Bloody Murder.
It was originally Scream Bloody Murder, but it was
it's Cheer Bloody Murder. You worked with Tom Sizemore, and who else did you say that you said you worked with a few other celebrities in that, or besides Tom Sizemore?
Let's see. Mike Ferguson was in that one. That was our third movie together, and we ended up doing a scene together. That was, because we're filming some kind of montage scene, and he came in. And I'm like, oh, of course. I'm like, I officially got a scene with Mike Ferguson. Yay! And then the other one, Todd Bridges. Man, another legend. I was like, wow, he just showed up because he was also doing a cameo in it, and so he. When they were inside, Tom was inside filming with, they were filming the last scenes or whatever. And then all of a sudden I hear somebody, coming. I turn around. And I didn't recognize him at first. And I was like, and he asked a question. I was like, oh yeah, definitely come join us. I was like, I kind of, by then when I heard his voice, I was like, oh, that sounds like Todd Bridges. I'm like, okay, just be cool. Yeah, come on, man. Just join us. Yeah, we're just out here chilling. Yeah. And then we end up just, talking and everything. Me and Tom's assistant, we were all just, three of us were just out there, just talking and, getting a little, getting a lot of insight too, because I'm still fairly new to Hollywood. So it's when this, this industry veteran / legend is talking, I'm like, just taking it all in. I'm like, and I'm just thinking wow, I can't believe it. I'm like, I used to watch Different Strokes a lot. It was on syndication when I was a kid. I was like, I just never imagined I'd be in a movie with Todd Bridges.
Right.
And I was like, wow, and I was same thing with with Tom Sizemore. It was it was I saw, what was that movie I saw him in? It was Heart and Souls first, before I saw him in The Relic and Saving Private Ryan. I was like, I never thought I would meet him, let alone him give me a ride home. That was really cool. And then who else was in that movie? Let's see. Oh, going back to People Under the Stairs, the guy who played Roach, he was in it. Yeah, Sean Whalen, I think his name is. Yeah, but I didn't see him. I didn't meet him. He was I guess he came in he was just in and out real quick. I was just outside chilling, but I heard he just came in, filmed this scene, and he was gone after that. And so I didn't even know he was there until a day or so later. And then let's see, Robert Lasardo was in that one. I didn't meet him that day, but I didn't meet him officially until we did Woods Witch, and then we were in a scene together with that. So that was another amazing one. And then I met Lauren Francesca and got introduced to, the wonderful world of TikTok, and that was fun. We were just,
which is going to be called X2 when it's pretty soon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if Elon Musk has his way. But I still don't have a TikTok account to this day. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I couldn't keep up with one. So, but that was fun to do as well, and I, just hanging out with celebrities like that. I just never thought that would be my life now. But now it's just, it's something, it's something to do.
Yeah,
and so
the average person would probably be fanboying meeting some of these people.
Yeah, I was a little bit, but I didn't want to go a little too crazy. Like when I met Jonathan Lipnicki on Camp Pleasant Lake, I kind of fanboyed a little bit, but I was like, it was just one of those inner fanboy things. I'm like, oh my God, there he is over there. Okay, just be cool, don't say nothing, don't act too wild and crazy, because it's like, okay, we don't want anybody to. But then I was just, I was talking to one of my co-stars and everything, and then I forgot what we were talking about, but I turned to Jonathan and said, oh, so what do you think? Does this and that, and just started shooting the breeze, and we just started talking. He's just, he's really cool too. He just came out and just sat with the people, and everybody, he didn't show up oh, I'm the big star here, and you gotta bow down and kiss my butt. No, he didn't do none of that.
Yeah,
he just came out he was just really cool. And so yeah, most of them were really cool. I met Michael Paré and who else? Oh, and Kelly Ryder. I didn't work with her directly on this one, but we known each other from Sheer Bloody Murder and Woods Witch. Again, that's where she played my girlfriend too, so that'll always be special to me. And so but yeah, that was it was just I just look at it oh, they're people just like you and me, and
yeah,
they got hopes and dreams, they got insecurities, they wake up in the morning, go to bed at night, or if they run on that kind of schedule, but yeah, so it's they're just, a lot of them, don't like to be, they don't like to be fussed over and, fanboyed over. So I was just okay, just I just kind of, I just like to be cool as well, because I worry that I'll just, ramble on too much and just act a total fool or something like that. And they'll remember that about me. And I'm yeah, that weird guy with I don't want to.
I'm sure some of them probably get it a lot from people that are probably used to it at this point. Is you're oh.
Yeah, some are used to it. But I just like to be, I just like to be chill and calm. When going back to when I first met Felissa Rose and stuff. I mean, I saw her when I first got to set and stuff, and she was there, and so I was okay, oh, there's Felissa Rose. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna go over there, set my stuff down and be cool and stuff. And then, I was just so nervous. I was trying to find a place to kind of hide, mostly, because I was, still fairly I didn't hardly know anybody, but then, but it was my first film with Will Colazzo, Night of the Zomghouls, and, and I saw Will, and I kind of went to him oh yeah, okay, hey, Will, what's up, man? How you doing? And so, and he's just, he's busy, with his director duties and stuff like that, going, here and there and stuff. And he's yeah, he's I gotta get going, but, but hey, feel free to mingle. And I was okay, yeah, I'll do that. And so I was just talking to everybody, introducing myself, because, hey, we're going to be on this movie together. And so
Yeah.
Yeah, and then finally, like, I worked up the courage to just walk over to Felissa Rose and say, "Hey, how you doing?" No, I'm kidding.
Hi,
No,
hi.
like, hi. But no, I had this. I'll tell you this though. I had this dream where I actually met Tina Turner, and and I was like, I was just so like excited to meet her. I was like, "Hey, Tina," and I'm like, and I'm actually a lot taller than she was, in person and stuff like that. And so yeah, because I did see her one time where she kind of like she just walked past me like with her security and stuff like that, the crowd of people and everything, and she looked and she waved hi and stuff like that. But that was years ago. But like when I saw her, she was like, she was kind of short and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So she's not as tall as I thought she'd be, but whoever is in this industry, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I had this dream where I met her, and when I'm talking to her, I kind of belched, right? And then like that's when I realized I was dreaming, because I woke up and I belched myself awake, and then I was like, and to top it off, I had a tuna sub from Subway, and I was like, ew. I'm like, what the? I'm like, I'm never eating a tuna sub again. I was like, oh, especially because if I meet Tina Turner and oh my God. And I just felt so nervous. Like I didn't leave my room like that whole day or something like that. I was like, that's how like nervous and, like, oh my God, what if I end up meeting her today? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like really weird. And I'm like always like overthinking stuff.
And just remember
man.
when they did that DNA test on the tuna sub from Subways, which, by the way, what the hell?
Yeah.
Came out as not tuna. I'm still stuck on the fact is who the hell does a DNA test on a sandwich?
Yeah, I didn't know that, but then I had stopped eating the tuna subs from there because since I learned to just make my own tuna sandwiches, now I'm like fuck, I need to go to Subway for now for that. So I'll just go to Subway for something else. So now I'm like, but then years later I find out it's not really tuna. I'm like, what?
I was like, what have I been eating all these years?
And I'm like, yeah, I hope I don't end up like Garrett Morris in the stuff, just like all of a sudden just like, and then my mouth get all big and stuff, and all this tuna just starts coming out, or not tuna, or I can't believe it's not tuna. Just like,
I can't believe it's not
my
tuna.
mouth gets all big, and then and it just starts coming out and shit. I'm like, oh my God,
I remember telling my mom about that DNA test and about what they found, and I got talking and told to shut up. She's like, "That's my sandwich. Shut up."
It's like, I'm glad I'll just stick with the chicken until I find out that's not chicken. Then we'll find out that's something.
Yeah, or like
it's really tuna. Yeah.
I just want to meet the person who sent the sandwich in for DNA testing, so I can ask him, why did you have to test the sandwich for its DNA? I just want to know.
He just wants to know. Sandwiches got ancestry too.
I was going to say, who's the ancestry of this tuna?
Yeah.
Apparently not, since it's not even tuna, so whatever. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, what else? Shoot, what time is it? Oh, it's 10:21. I gotta get up at 5. Ugh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
yeah, because you're an hour
Eastern
behind or
Standard
whatever. So, but yeah.
Yeah, still in the Chi for now, so I'm just like, that's been my life, like back and forth between the Chi and LA and sometimes New York.
That must be different time zones. Like, oh, it's this time now. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 hours and 23 minutes. That's good. That's good. It's been fun.
Yeah, it is, and we're just having fun. So I'm just like, yeah,
it is fun. Like, and the time goes by so fast. I didn't even realize. Yeah. I'm like, oh God, I gotta get up at 5.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep. So.
Exactly. I think that's a Janet Jackson song. I don't know. I gotta look it up though.
It might be, but yeah, like I said, you can always come back. So yeah. So, and I really do gotta get to bed though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you should. You gotta get up at 5. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but thank you guys again for having me, and yeah, I'm. Wow, this time went by really fast too. I'm like, but I'm having a ball. I had a great time, and I like these kind of, when they're laid back like this and everything, and then
Yeah, it's more fun that way. It's not just this. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what's funny is real quick, like when Danielle Donahue was on stuff, she's like, yeah, I heard podcasts, but this is fun. So that's our goal. So
and it entertains people.
Yeah, it's entertaining too, of
It
course.
does, yeah.
So, but thanks again, and everyone who's watching and who watches the replay, and we'll see you next week. I'm thinking probably just next week. I know Echo, you said you had a family thing to do or something next week.
Yeah, I'm getting dragged to a family reunion.
So, so yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing some horror trivia. And I got a few codes to give away, and might have a friend also who was in here earlier. He did a early morning calm, I think it's called. Lynn Lowry's in it, so have him on too. We'll do a little bit of talk about that and have some trivia. So people win some movies. So, but. All right.
I can actually send you some codes too that I have in case you need some more codes.
Yeah, if you want to do that, we can do that as well. So
you got me in a large size. Send me some,
So I got codes for the entire Conjuring trilogy.
Okay, so there we go.
Oh wow!
So yeah, if you're watching or watching the replay and you want The Conjuring next week, brush up on your horror. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end this, and everybody have a good night. See you next time.
Okay, me too. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
This was kick-ass meeting you, man.